bass line is as much improvisation as somebody soloing over a tune. You know, wiggly, 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 wiggly. You know, what we're playing on the bass and the walking bass lines should be improvisation. We shouldn't be kind of getting stuck in familiar routines. Improvisation is basically anything you do on the spot. You're improvising all day. We seem to put this big sort of thing on, improvisation. Well, you get up in the morning, you're going to have tea, you're going to have coffee, you're going to get out of the bed on the left side or the right side. It's all improvisation. So anything you do, if you play one note on the bass, improvisation. There was I decided how long I was going to play it, how loud I was going to play it. So we're improvising all the time. You know, you play a bass line. Ooh, that was long. That was short. Oh, I did a hammer on. That's all improvisation. So we, as bass players, we kind of get hung up about improvisation. We're improvising all the time. So anyway, getting back to a walking bass line. Now, like I said, we all kind of get into ruts. I know I do. So if I'm playing a walking bass line, I kind of approach it in a very sort of linear chromatic fashion. So, for example, on the first 8 bars of Autumn Leaves, C minor 7. In fact, let's do the first 4 bars. C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7. C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7. Now, the way I would have approached that in the past, and still sometimes, is I would have started on the root, because we kind of think we have to play the root on the first beat. You know, there's other notes in a chord that are just as important, or if not even more important, actually. So I would have approached it like this. So from the C minor 7 to the F7, I would have gone. So I would have gone C, root, up to the D second. There's my E flat, that's the flattened third of the scale. Then I would have put in an E, which is a chromatic note, but it's fine because it's leading to the F, which is the first note of the F7. Now I've got to get to the B flat major 7. I would have played, normally I would play A natural, C, B, another chromatic note, down to the B flat. And then I might have played, I've got to get to the E flat major 7 now, I played a D, F, E natural, E flat. Lots of chromatic notes in there. Nothing wrong with that. It's grooving along nicely, it's a nice bass line. But if I do it all the time, which I had a tendency to do, then it's a bit samey. I mean, you know, it's not really. I could be saying more. So I've been playing a lot of double bass lately, and I'm not particularly good on the double bass. But what it's forcing me to do is kind of thinking about aiming for other notes. Not always the root, maybe the third, maybe the fifth, maybe even the seventh, maybe some other notes, but emphasizing those chords. As we know, a third, if it's a major chord, then the major third is important. If it's a minor chord, the minor third is important. Those are important notes to emphasize. So what if we kind of think of things in a more melodic way, instead of just kind of like these lines going to these root notes all the time, which there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but why not have some more tools in our bag? So instead of going from the C minor 7 to the F7, which is fine, what if I did, so I went C, D, E, back to the C, then what if I went down to the A, which is the third of the F, and then played the root, then the fifth, then the flattened, the E flat, the flat 7. So let's just see what I've done. Well, now I'm on an E flat. down to a third of that scale. And then on to the root of the E flat major 7. So let's see, what have I done? I've changed it a little bit there. So that was down to, and then we went to the D. So I'm mixing it up, I'm varying it, I'm changing it a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm using thirds as landing points. I'm thinking maybe a little bit more arpeggiated as well. So there's my C minor 7, here's my F7, then I went down to the third of the D flat major 7, played like a major triad there, then I'm down to the E flat. Where's my oyster? What do I want to do there? Ooh, chromatic note to land on the A for the next chord. We're not going to go any further. I just want to get across this point of don't get stuck in a rut like I did. Nothing wrong with this. It's great. Nothing wrong with that. But let's try and think outside the box. Let's try and think more melodically. Let's think more creatively. It sounds almost it was more classical. But this is the point. I'm just winging it here. I'm just throwing stuff out. Some of it sounds good, some of it sounds not so good. But let's get away from root with lots of chromatic notes. Let's start thinking, maybe, if that's something that appeals to you. Oh, okay. I went for the flat seventh there. Okay, I'm just throwing this stuff out there. There's no point in me analysing all of this. Thirds, fifths, roots, even the flattened sevenths, or the sevenths, even the ninths. I threw in a ninth there. Create a line, create a beautiful line. It's kind of like you're thinking counterpoint. There's your solo over the top or the melody, and then you're creating a line. It really is like counterpoint. Keep improvising. Keep thinking outside the box. What's the worst that can happen? Play a wrong note, play a note that doesn't fit. Who cares? It's music. It's all about being creative and trying stuff. We shouldn't get too hung up about mistakes, because sometimes mistakes are the best notes within a tune.